Good dog friends. Today we'll take another trip around the world here at Chum Nursery School. We'll be visiting the beautiful country of the Netherlands. It has another name too. It's called Holland. So please fasten your seatbelts and get ready for takeoff because it's a big, big world. Friends, here we are over here in our state of Pennsylvania in the country of the United States of America. But we need to fly across the ocean up here right next to Germany, down just a little bit, is a beautiful country of Holland or the Netherlands. It's a beautiful place with many amazing things. Let's look and see the many things that come from Holland. This says, look what comes from the Netherlands, and it's written by Kevin Davis. That man doesn't dress like we do, does he? Look what comes from the Netherlands. The Netherlands is a small and beautiful country in Western Europe. It's also known as Holland. The people of the Netherlands are called Dutch, and the language they speak is Dutch. They say hello like this. Good dog. Can you say good dog? That's a funny way to say hello. But that's the Dutch language for hello in the Netherlands or Holland. When people think of this country, they often picture a land of windmills, tulips, and wooden shoes. But this fascinating place has contributed many great things to the world. Let's read on and find out. Wow, there's a lot of water around Holland. Look at all that water. It's not an island, but there's a lot. And here's the country of Germany. Remember when we visited Germany in October? Here are some inventions that came from Holland. A really important invention is the compound microscope, and then later on the precision microscopes. Microscopes help doctors and scientists and medical technologists look at teeny tiny little things that we can't see with our eyes alone. Another Dutch invention helped people see large things that were very far away. It was called the telescope. It was invented about 400 years ago. That's really neat, isn't it? That's what the first telescope looked like. It looks longer and thinner than our telescopes of today, doesn't it? Now this is something really cool. It's called a dredger. Because the Netherlands was often flooded because there was so much water around it, people who lived there dug canals. Canals are like great big giant-sized ditches that people make to carry away water and to prevent flooding. About 400 years ago, the Dutch invented a machine called a dredger to clear mud and weeds from the waterway. The dredger was also used to help make dams. Dams hold water back. Look what it looked like from the front. Somehow it moved weeds and mud away so water could flow. Many people came up with the idea of a submarine, but one of the first to be successful in making it was Cornelius Drebbel, a Dutchman who lived nearly 400 years ago. His submarine was a funny-looking thing. It was made of greased leather stretched over a wooden frame. It had oars that came out of the sides through waterproof flaps. The first submarine went only about 15 feet underwater. Wow, that is real. That doesn't look like our submarines, does it? I'd be afraid to go in that. Another invention was called a thermostat. Ask your grown-up to show you your thermostat at home. The thermostat was invented by Drebbel, the same guy who invented the submarine. Wow, he was quite an inventor, wasn't he? A thermostat and a submarine. That's very cool. A thermostat controls your temperature in your house. Now, another invention is the incubator. When babies are born too soon, sometimes they're put in incubators. And an incubator helps keep a baby warm and cozy. We have an incubator in our room. It keeps eggs warm, remember? Brown, you won't believe who invented the incubator.
Who?
The same man, Drebbel.
He's a busy man.
He invented the submarine and the thermostat. Then he used his idea from the thermostat to invent the incubator. Now, his first incubator was used to keep chicken eggs warm so they'd hatch without a mother. But today, incubators keep babies warm too. Not the same kind of incubator, but a nice incubator
Same
like that.
idea.
Yeah, look, the nurses can put their hands through these little holes, and it doesn't let too much heat out when they reach in. Wow, look at this. This is a pendulum. A pendulum is the part of the clock that goes. It swings back and forth. A pendulum is a weight that swings back and forth. About 150 years ago, the Dutch inventor Christian Huygens added a pendulum to a clock to help the clock keep better time. The regular swing of a pendulum helped keep the clock accurate. That means on time. That's really neat. Before that, the invention of the pendulum clock, clocks could gain or lose a whole hour every single day. Wow, you'd be really late, huh, Mrs.
He would
Brown?
be.
Oh, look at this. This is really cool. Mr. Huygens, the guy who did the pendulum clock, also made another great timekeeping invention. This is called a pocket watch. The portable clock had been invented in Germany, but Mr. Huygens added a spring and a balance wheel to make it more reliable. Have you ever seen an audio cassette recorder?
I bet they
Probably
haven't.
not, Mrs. Brown. Ask your grown-ups. They probably know about cassette recorders, and that was invented in Germany too.
Holland.
Holland. I'm sorry, friends, Holland. And you could record your voice on that, or you could listen to people singing to tapes. It's what CDs replaced.
And they probably don't know what CDs are.
Oh,
I don't know. Everything's
Okay.
on your phone now.
all right. Friends, here are some animals that came from Holland. This is called a Holstein Friesian cow. They have a lot of cows in Holland, and they make a lot of cheese. Over here are some horses that came from Holland. Now, these are Frisian horses being used in battle in the Middle Ages. This is a modern-day Frisian horse down here. Look at the beautiful hair and the beautiful tail that goes clear to the ground. It's so fluffy. And up here, this is a Dutch draught horse. Wow. He looks a lot like our horses, doesn't
Kind of looks like a donkey to me. He looks like, doesn't he?
he? Yeah, he's a different color. Look how green it is in Holland. I guess because it's
He
so
looks
wet.
thicker than a horse.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, look at this. This is a real wooden shoe. Some of the wood rotted out from hundreds of years ago. These are modern day Dutch clogs. Now, the people in Holland used to wear wooden shoes because it was so very wet in Holland. And if you ever went outside in your tennis shoes on a rainy day, you know how wet your feet got. Well, it's always soggy in Holland, so the people put wooden shoes on so that their feet wouldn't get wet. Look at this man making the wooden shoes, and they sure do paint them pretty. Now, in Holland, the people usually leave their shoes outside, not just in the hallway, but clear outside. These Dutch women are wearing really cool lace caps called Volendam caps. Look at that. That Volendam cap made with a special kind of lace, and it's called a Volendam cap. It was named after a fishing village. This traditional cap fits close to the head. Dancers in Volendam wore these hats as part of their costumes. Wow, Volendam lace. Can you see that lace, Mrs. Brown? That's really cool.
It is pretty.
They look like they're having fun, don't they? Oh my goodness, Mrs. Brown, one of my favorite foods, a donut.
Me too.
Donuts were invented in Holland, but guess what?
What?
They didn't have a hole in them.
No?
Nope, they were just round discs in Holland, deep fried and yummy. And once people from Holland came to the United States, they noticed that they were kind of gooey in the middle. So, let's see, nobody's absolutely sure, but a captain of a boat poked a hole through the middle of his donut before he put it in the deep fryer so that it would fry better. And today, that's how we...
So is that where we get the munchkins then? The middle's
the munchkins come from the middle, I believe.
Yeah.
Today, people in the Netherlands still enjoy ball-shaped donuts called oliebollen. Look at those oily balls. They look like our munchkins, but
They
I think
do.
they might be bigger, don't you?
No, I don't
No,
know.
you
I
think
think
they're
they're
about the
just,
same?
I think so. I think they're the whole of the donut, honestly.
Hey, here's oliebollen being served on New Year's Eve. And here are Dutch women making oliebollen. These delicious raisin-filled pastries
Oh.
are traditionally served on New Year's Eve.
Look at their
So
hats.
let's see, Mrs. Brown. Oh, yeah.
They have those little lace
They
hats
do
on.
the Volendam caps. That's pretty. Look at this over their shoulders. Maybe they wear those on New Year's Eve, huh? Or maybe that's their uniform. I don't know. Pretty, huh? Look at the back of the cap. It's really pretty, huh?
It is.
Oh, yummy, Mrs. Brow. We can still get crullers today. It's a popular pastry that came from the Netherlands. It's a long, twisted, donut-like pastry with a sweet coating. The word cruller comes from the Dutch word krullen, which means curl.
Those are one of my favorites.
Really?
I do.
Two delicious cheeses, Gouda cheese and Edam cheese, are also named after small towns in the Netherlands. Both are mild yellow cheeses. They usually have a red or yellow wax covering.
That must keep them safe, like
It must
preserved.
keep them fresh, yeah. And then you must cut that wax
I
covering
hope so.
off
I
to
don't think
eat
you
them.
want to eat wax.
Whoa, Mrs. Brow, look at all this cheese.
That's a lot.
This is a cheese market in the town of Gouda. Wow, that's a lot of cheese, Mrs. Brow. And there's a protective covering so these people aren't breathing germs all over it, huh? That's really cool. Oh, look at these boxes. Maybe when you buy it, you get a box.
Let's see. Let's look at the box.
That's neat, huh? So they don't have...
That's so it doesn't
stores.
smash, I guess.
They have fresh markets. Mrs. Brown, does that look like that's in some kind of carriage to you? It's not a truck.
It's looks like a wagon.
It does look like a wagon. Well, here are some customs. Oh, look at this guy. This is an old postcard showing St. Nicholas delivering Christmas gifts. Christmas wouldn't be the same without jolly old Santa Claus. But did you know the idea for Santa Claus came from the Netherlands? Long ago, the Dutch began celebrating a special holiday on December 6th, honoring St. Nicholas. The holiday is called Sinterklaas Day. It had no relation to Christmas at all. Dutch people of all religions celebrated Sinterklaas Day. St. Nicholas was a Catholic bishop known for giving gifts to the poor. He is the patron saint of children and sailors. On the night before Sinterklaas Day, children received presents and had big meals at home with their families.
Oh, there's the real guy.
Men dressed in red and white bishop's robes to look like St. Nicholas went from house to house to ask children if they said their prayers and did their homework. If the children said yes, they got presents. When the Dutch came to the United States, they brought the tradition with them. American children pronounced Sinterklaas as Santa Claus, and the name stuck. Eventually, Santa Claus became part of the Christmas tradition. This is a Sinterklaas parade in Amsterdam. Amsterdam's a town in the Netherlands. Look how those guys are dressed. They look really cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here are some sports that came from Holland. Bowling. Have you ever gone bowling? This popular game in which people roll a ball down to knock over pins was developed in the Netherlands. People in ancient Europe played a game with pieces of stone and a ball that is similar to bowling. However, the Dutch invented the game that used wooden pins and more closely resembles modern-day bowling. In the 1600s, the Dutch brought bowling to North America. Look, they're bowling outside. They made their own bowling alley.
That's
Hey, Mrs.
neat.
Brow, I
What?
bet our friends could repurpose water bottles and things and play bowling out in their yards.
That would be fun. Or in their hallway.
Yeah, if their grown-ups allow them, they can play in their hallway. Oh, Mrs. Brow, they're making paper tulips out of egg cartons. That's a really cool idea, and a pipe cleaner. That's
And we
neat.
get to make our.
But we're going to make a different kind
Yes.
of tulip, Mrs. Brow. So right now, let's say goodbye to the Dutch. Ready? The way they say it in the Netherlands or Holland is dog.
Dog friends.
Dog friends.